I'm a shameless fellow. I don't have a heroic presence. I'm a teacher at school, man. Because it's fun to tease that beautiful lady who wears black every day. But the other day, while I was sitting at my desk, passing time, my mouse cursor suddenly flew off the screen. Oh man, haven't I slept enough? Or am I seeing something? I clicked the mouse nervously. Just then my teacup fell to the floor and broke. My heart sank with it. Oh man, this mouse is actually controlling real things. This is pure magic office telekinesis. Then my cursor moved towards the beautiful director sitting nearby in a gray suit, and I discreetly slid it under her desk. Then what? I lightly clicked her foot. The beautiful director was startled by a sudden itch in her foot. She quickly took off her heels and started scratching. The sight of this was a delight. And then what? I started clicking like a madman over and over again. This time the director's whole body started to tremble. Her face also turned red with anger and embarrassment. My nose was just about to bleed. What dangerous technology, man. This thing is like a treasure. It's so much fun. I played until the director ran to the bathroom, red-faced. Then I tested the rest of the mouse's features. I placed the cursor on the 10,000 rupees I had just withdrawn from the bank. Then, like a pro, I right-clicked. A submenu appeared out of thin air. Just like on a computer screen, Kahani. Forced by habit, I pressed copy and paste. The next moment, a wad of notes appeared before me. I couldn't believe my eyes. It really worked. My heart leaped with joy, knowing that my luck was about to change. Maybe I'd even marry a rich lady. Obviously. But the next second, something caught my attention. The serial numbers on all the notes were exactly the same. I picked up another note and examined it. Same problem. This meant they were all fake. If I used them, I would be caught sooner or later. Then how would I fulfill my dream of becoming rich? There was no choice. With a heavy heart, I aimed the mouse at the notes and pressed the delete button. Then, like a mad scientist, I began experimenting. I placed the cursor over a pen. After a copy and paste, another pen appeared from nowhere. I tried using the fake pen on paper. It worked just like the real one. I was lost in my newfound power. Just then, that beautiful director Zach quietly appeared and stood behind me, and I hadn't even closed the game on the computer. Once again, she caught me stealing work. She angrily declared that this was the third time this month. She asked if I cared about this job. Then she tried to pull my hair, but I shake her hand off. Seeing my sudden behavior, she becomes furious. She says, now you've rebelled, and threatens to get me fired by telling the principal. She wasn't joking. After all, the principal is her own father. I laughed and challenged her. Get me fired? Who's afraid of you? Hearing this, it was as if smoke was coming out of her ears. You're being too boastful, she taunted. Look at your age, you're almost 30. You don't have a decent house, a car, and not a penny in the bank here. You don't even have a girlfriend. You only earn 3,000 rupees a month. So what right do you have to raise your voice against me? Her words struck me squarely in the heart. Each taunt landed squarely on my empty wallet. If it had happened before, I would have silently bowed my head and accepted everything she said. But now I have the magic mouse. Why should I be afraid of this woman? We were arguing when, somehow, my mouse right-clicked on that handsome director. I somehow suppressed the urge to copy and paste. Then I saw the details option below. What does that mean, brother? As soon as I clicked, her entire horoscope appeared on the screen. Her name was Chuyu. Age 25, height 170 centimeters, weight 50 kilograms, weight. Her beauty score was 85, her status reads unwed, meaning virgin. My brain froze. Oh, this mouse can expose people's secrets. Amazing, brother. I've found another unique way to make money. Chuyu, irritated, asked if I was even listening to her. She told me to stop this nonsense. She said, have you forgotten your place? Then with pride, I declared that I was going to be rich very soon. I'd have big cars and live in a luxurious bungalow. Maybe I'd hire you as my personal secretary. Chuyu laughed loudly and said, you're just jokingly going to kill me. Given your condition, without this school, you'll be on the streets. Then she arrogantly declared, if that day ever really comes, I'll kneel before you and clean your shoes, always. I said, wait a minute. I have to record this, so madam, can't deny it again. See if I have the guts. With that, I quickly turned on my phone's camera and pointed it at the beautiful director I was often lost in thoughts about. Yes, brother, look, this great Madam Chuyu is saying in front of everyone that if this wretch really leaves this school and buys luxury cars and a mansion, she will kneel before me and lick my shoes. That's great. I said everyone saw it. She said it herself. I'll always remember this. Everyone here is a witness. Don't go back on your word. With that, I turned off my phone. I didn't give the beautiful director a chance to argue. I slammed my teacher ID card on the desk and told Chuyu to wait a few more days. Wait. I'll be picking you up in a luxury car in a few days. Then you'll have to kneel before me. There was a mixture of surprise and anger in Chuyu's eyes, and I strutted out of the staff room with pride. As soon as I got out of school, I headed straight for the nearby antique market. Because my mouse could reveal a vast treasure trove of antiques, I had devised a powerful way to make money. Identifying antiques was a cakewalk thanks to the magic mouse in my pocket. I reached the Panja Yuan antique market and began browsing the roadside shops. In my eyes, the entire market was a mine of gold. I simply strolled along, my fingers secretly controlling the mouse inside my pocket, a cursor only I could see. The magical cursor moved swiftly in the real world. I was scanning every single item in the shop. Oh, brother, why is everything here fake? Then my eyes fell on a mysterious book. Oh, brother, it's worth 100 million yuan. What the hell is this? 100 million. There's a treasure hidden inside that tattered wooden box. Excited, I rushed forward. But before I could, a guy next to me snatched it up and immediately opened the lid. A dragon design imperial jade seal shone from within. The man exclaimed, "What a magnificent piece, brother," and immediately asked for the price. The shopkeeper praised his eye and asked him to read the words written below, longevity, with eternal prosperity created by the command of that very voice. With pride, he claimed that this was the real imperial jade seal. Made of absolutely pure material, brother. If brother likes it, just give me 100,000. This is what a fake story is. He simply forged the imperial seal. This shopkeeper's heart is as big as an entire palace. If it were a royal seal, he'd declare himself king. The mouse immediately exposed it. It's a cheap imitation stone soaked in industrial paint. Handling it for too long will melt your skin. Even a fool wouldn't dare approach it. But the gentleman is still accepting card payments. The shopkeeper is also enjoying himself. He said, "Brother, you've made a great deal of money." Wow, someone actually bought it? This is too much. My last hope is gone. Now what should I do with the box I wanted? Oh wait, what about the book inside the box? The shopkeeper told the fool, so what if the box is old? Take it with you. He even boasted that it was a genuine antique. The two struck such a chord that he gave the book away for free. The buyer was overjoyed and thanked him. The book's cover had the words refactoring printed in bold letters. I asked the shopkeeper, "Brother, is this trash even an antique? It looks like a simple foreign book." Then why did the mouse show its price as 100 million? Did my mouse software crash? The shopkeeper grimaced and laughed. And he started dusting his fake royal seal with the same junk book as if it would tarnish his priceless seal. He told the buyer to throw it in the trash, and he scuttled off. I looked at the shopkeeper. "Brother, can I see that book?" He flipped through the pages, rummaging through the entire book. But the junk dealer couldn't find a clue. Then he said, "Take care of it." He still insisted it was a genuine antique. I said, "Brother, have you lost your mind with money?" The publishing date is clearly printed on the back. It was barely 2 years old. He said angrily, "Why are you staring at me now that you've already seen it?" I made an excuse. "Oh, I studied computer science. This matches my education perfectly." The excuse worked perfectly. I told the shopkeeper, "Stop the drama. Enough already. Now tell me how much you'll charge for this." When he saw I really wanted it, his suspicion went away. He snatched the book back and started flipping through the pages again. "Oh man," he said, "this junk dealer is a cunning one. Is there really something fishy? Could the 100 million thing be in the book itself? Who knows, it might be a rare postage stamp stuck between the pages." I was watching his actions with a pounding heart. Then, bored, he threw the book back. "Take it, just 300. Without a second thought, I quickly pulled out my phone and scanned the payment. Amen. Someone in the crowd said, "Hey, this looks like a coding book. Probably an out-of-print edition." Another person immediately laughed sarcastically. "Hey, brother, books like this are available in the market for a handful of rupees." Just then, someone noticed me and shouted, "Look over there. He's laughing like a madman." This book must have some big secret hidden inside. Someone asked, "Did you get a big lottery ticket again?" I thought to myself, oh no, I can't believe them just yet. The real celebration will begin only after I get home. If the cover seems ordinary, then the $100 million prize must be hidden inside the book. I began turning the pages one by one. The pages were absolutely clean. There wasn't a single handwritten note. Everything was printed clearly. Now everyone was convinced I was hiding something inside the book. Perhaps there was some hidden treasure inside, but this didn't go down well with me. The shopkeeper was also very confused. What did he find? What the hell is this? Is this some code word puzzle? Is that 100 million buried in this maze of letters and numbers? Where is that magical character string? Just then, a guy from the crowd called out, I'm very interested in this book. He asked, will you sell it to me? Another replied, hey, he seems to be from the same gang. As soon as he asked for the book, things got interesting. He didn't come before or after. He appeared right when I figured out the code, and now he's come straight to buying it. I said, brother, this book is my life. Then I turned the tables. Tell me, how much will you pay? He asked hesitantly, what do you think is the right price? I said proudly, why, brother, will you pay $1 million? And without a second thought, he said yes. Hey, who would throw away $1 million for just a piece of junk? The crowd was shocked and asked, has he gone mad? I said, come on, brother, if you really want to buy it, let's finalize the deal right now. But he immediately backed off, saying, let it be, friend, I don't need it. After all, it's just a junk book. Now it's confirmed that this gentleman had come to steal my money. This book is no ordinary thing, brother. A man who would throw away $1 million in one fell swoop would be foolish? The statement is true, but the book looks absolutely cheap. The real target wasn't the liquor. His real focus was on this character string. He didn't say anything, but it was clear that my guess was spot on, and he wanted that very magic code. The matter had become completely suspicious. Why would anyone spend $1 million just for a coat? That too after I'd already shown it to everyone. So many people standing here had seen it with their own eyes. So why was he insisting on buying it? Besides, if he was willing to pay $1 million for a code everyone had seen, its real value was much higher than $1 million. The spectacled man heard me and broke into a sweat. He realized he'd acted too hastily. He shouldn't have bid such a large sum, or shown such passion for this book. In the process, he himself put the succubus in my hand. Changing the subject, he said, hey, you're mistaken. I just like this book on a whim. It has nothing to do with those Kodash. He also clarified that he had no firm intention of buying it. Then he tried a new trick. Come on, brother, just flip through all the pages again. He wants the front pages checked as well. He says they probably match the current edition. If the content is the same, this collector's piece will have no value. His phone is blaring loudly. I can hear it from 800 meters away. I skim through things calmly. He's definitely after this string. But so many people have already seen it. Even if it's valuable, after so many glances, it won't hold much value anymore. He still wants me to flip through the next pages. This means there could be similar strings in the future. Once I get an idea, I keep the pages to myself. Then I start checking them one by one. After flipping through more than 20 pages, I find another string written in a ballpoint pen in the blank space at the top. What the hell is this, brother? The man asks me to read it aloud. He offers to decipher it for me. Does he really think I'm stupid? Does he think I can't figure it out myself? There are so many people here, yet only he has figured it out. I usually look for bargains on others. No one finds bargains for me. He tells me not to rush. He says he'll ask his father. His father is also a programmer. Surely he can understand it. I'm a programmer myself. But that string doesn't look like a quote at all. It's getting late. I decide to go to a tea house and take a breather. I tell everyone to leave. I leave. But some people just can't stand to sit still. Some, like the man with the glasses, immediately start fiddling with their phones. Meanwhile, at the Thompson Riviera mansion, Zhou Gao, a partner at a top AI company, is testing his company's product. A call distracts him and irritates him. Someone asks the old man to check a string. Apparently it's worth 1 million rupees. Zhou Gao asks if he has nothing else to do. He says he's testing a product. The caller praises him for being the only coding master around. Everyone else is just a sip of tea. Zhou Gao tells him to send it immediately. He tells him not to hang up. Zhou Gao opens the message. He looks at the characters. At first glance, they look familiar. He asks who sent this string. It was copied from a programming book. The caller first asks what it is. Zhao Gao says it's interesting. Initially, it just looks familiar. He's not entirely sure. But since it's not a programming book, he's 70 to 80% sure. The caller insists he hurry up. Zhao Gao says it's probably Bitcoin's public key. The caller asks if he's sure. He says he's 70-80% sure, and it's very easy to find out. He tells the caller to wait. Then he hangs up. He opens a browser and logs into the official website. He enters that string. There are over 250 Bitcoins inside. Someone says there are only over 200, so very few. Zhao Gao begs him to use his precious hands and check online. Just check the Bitcoin price before talking. Then he says there's no need to check. Today, a Bitcoin is selling for 60,000. The caller is stunned by the price. 280 coins means 169.2 million rupees. 169.2 million rupees, brother. Zhao Gao says it's for 600 rupees. Now rupees, brother. His mind goes blank. These are actually American dollars. Calculated at today's exchange rate, it's over 1 billion rupees. Zhao Gao gives up on explaining. Zhao Gao tells everyone to leave immediately. He says they'll meet at the airport. He tells them to call the currency and the others. Someone asks why they need the airport. Zhao Gao needs that book. The sooner the better. They have to get there before everyone else. Before I find out it's a public key for Bitcoin, someone tells old Zhao Gao to buy it. He thinks getting the public key means getting over 1 billion rupees. Zhao Gao explains that Bitcoin requires both a public and a private key. It also requires an address. He gives a simple example. A public key is just like a bank card. It can be shown to the other party. The card number is like the Bitcoin transfer address. The private key is just like the card's password. He asks if they fully understood. Someone asks why do they still need to buy it? Isn't that just inviting trouble? Zhao Gao thinks paying 1 million for a chance isn't a loss. Early the next morning, I get out of bed and rub my sleepy eyes. After washing my hands and face, I take the book with me and go downstairs to have breakfast. Then I head straight for Panya Yuan. While I'm still lost in thought, 2 taxis pull up on the road. 8 men get out. I raise my head, my eyes still wide with confusion. What a wonderful start. A man greets me with great courtesy. He introduces himself. His name is Zhao Gao. I ask if he knows me. He saw me yesterday near that bookstore. He's very interested in the book I bought from that stall. He suggests we sit and talk somewhere. I ask if they've come for the same string. He pretends not to know what it is. Just then, more taxis pull up. Several more people get out. They quickly glance at me and then quickly walk towards me. Another man greets me with great courtesy. Within minutes, dozens of people surround me. Clearly, none of them are ordinary people. They are even more than that. They seem to be experts in their fields. And they all know what that string is. Am I the only orphan here who doesn't know anything? Someone calls me little brother. He says I'm going to be rich. Not less than 1 billion. He says that what's written in the book I bought yesterday isn't just Bitcoin's public domain. He warns me not to sell it. I'm telling you the truth, absolutely not to sell it. He says that all these people are here to steal my bargain. The first man is Zhao Gao. He's a partner at Super AI. The one next to him looks like a famous influencer, and the one on the left is a partner at a tech company. Then I wonder how all those online programmer geniuses suddenly went silent. I thought they hadn't seen it, but they had already seen it, they were just rushing to steal the goods. I told everyone to go back and clearly stated that the book wasn't for sale. One man tried to persuade me, saying, "Take 2 million, what's the use of me?" Another immediately offered 3 million. Someone said, "I'm just buying cheaply too. If I refuse, I'm grossly underestimating." He asked me to name my own price. Then Zhao Gao laughed and got straight to the point. He decided to speak clearly. He said that code was actually a Bitcoin public key address. He thought I didn't know much about Bitcoin, so he started giving me free advice. I admitted I didn't know much. "Come on, brother, let's listen to the wisdom," he said. Bitcoin has both public and private keys. Yesterday's code was just a public key. With just a public key, anyone can extract account information, transaction records, and the number of Bitcoins stored inside. Now I understand. These people had already checked this public key, P. I asked, how much is inside, brother? He said, 280 coins. One coin is worth $1,000 today. But brother, that's just what the public key reveals. The real game is the private key. Without the private key, the public key is just a glimpse. No one knows whether the real thing is inside or not. He said, we're all just dealing in a possibility. I thought to myself, how do you know there's another code hidden on the other side of the page? Without logging in, no one can tell if it's private or not. He agreed. He bid 10 million straight away. He said, if you agree, let's go to a lawyer right away. It'll be a face-to-face deal. I'll only get 10 million until I log in and check. Meaning from now on until the deal is finalized, we'll have to stick together. He had to make sure I didn't log in secretly. Even his driver was understanding. I swear, this guy was a headache. Someone in the crowd said if I were in his place, I'd sell it. After all, having 10 million in hand is 1,000 times better than shooting in the dark. He's done so much research on me, so he should have understood one thing. Hey, we're professional bargain hunters. Bargain hunting means small stakes and big payoffs. 10 million is tempting, brother. But I have a big heart. It's worth the risk. Shavgan agreed, convinced he had the guts. Otherwise, if he pursued too much, things would have gotten awkward. He handed me his visiting card. He said, if you ever have any questions, just call my brother. I flatly stated I won't sell it. But yes, I can certainly satisfy your curiosity. Come on, I'll log in and show everyone. In front of everyone's wide-eyed and anxious gaze, I quietly pulled out my phone. Opened my ID on the website and typed in that magical key. My eyes widened in astonishment. Someone shouted, is it logged in? Is this a real private key? Everyone was holding their breath, wondering if it was you. I said, it's done, brother, and held the phone in the air. Pointing the camera at the screen, 280 bitcoins flashed before me. Someone screamed. The entire crowd froze. Everyone's blood froze. Don't even ask. One poor guy was regretting his pity on me. Why didn't he take the 10 million? He was cursing himself, wondering why he even had such a nasty idea. Someone jokingly said, hey brother, is that the sound of heartbreak? A big boss came forward. He asked, are you still thinking of selling? I thought there's no shortage of money. The price will only go up. I flatly refused. I said goodbye to the brothers. We're off hunting again. With that, I didn't even look back at anyone. I strode straight towards the antique market. Someone muttered, what a terrible fate. I wish I had bid 50 million. Regret oozed from every pore of his being. As I entered Antique City, 2 drunken men came running, one dragging the other. A whole box of goods had just arrived at the neighboring junkyard last night. If I delay, I won't get even a penny. A whole box of antiques in the junkyard? Oh brother, this is a must-see. I found a perfect opportunity to get an epiphany from the mouse. When I arrived, the junkyard was already crowded. I sat quietly squatting down and started petting the dog. Hey, look at the coincidence. The mouse cursor landed right on the dog's bowl. The market value of that dog's bowl is 300 million. 300 million. I swear I was blown away. I had to pick this up. There was no doubt about it. I sat there agitated for almost 2 hours. Finally, when the crowd dispersed, I went to the owner and asked the price of the antiques. He said, please show me the goods. He understood that I had also come with news about the box. He asked if there was anything special left inside. He said, son, you're a little late in coming. People have already cleaned out the valuable goods. Whatever's left is kept. The owner offered a discount, telling me to go and pick whatever I wanted. Each piece has a fixed price of 5,000 rupees. Once you find something, pay quiet. He's very casual, brother, and the entire price is predetermined. This is a test of your eyesight. But when you have a magic mouse, you can retire your eyes. I stepped into that junk room. I swear, even among the heaps of rubbish, there were some real diamonds hidden. The rest was just junk. Some items were dangerously fixed. It seems this junk dealer is no less a cunning player. He's using these antiques to fleece those desperate to become rich overnight. This antique market is no less deep than the ocean. Whatever it takes, let's gather some goods first. That'll be useful for covering up that dog bowl. As soon as I gathered the junk and emerged, a crowd of onlookers gathered. Someone shouted, look, he's really taken a chance. Another was doubting whether all these were old antique pieces. Another said it seems he was really late. By then, the junk dealer's meal was ready. He was sitting cross-legged on a stool as if he were the king of the junk world. After calculating, he said the total is 15,000. I nodded, took out my phone, and opened the scanner. After paying, I asked him a question, why? Isn't there anything really good here? He replied, if you want real stuff, he still has a real treasure buried somewhere. Smiling, I asked, would you like to see it, merchant? I asked, come on, brother, let's see what you've hit. The shopkeeper raised his hand and pointed. There was a stone under the stove outside. It was actually a broken stone tablet. Its two pieces were holding it up on either side of the stove. He said there was some writing on it. Some junk dealers wanted to buy it, but he didn't sell it. I asked then why didn't he sell it? He said they were offering too low a price. He couldn't even afford to drink decent liquor. Then he said I won't haggle too much. If you like it, take it for 20,000. I walked over, my head bent, and looked at the tablet carefully. The stone was covered in soot and grease. Only a faint outline of the letters was visible. Reading it was like frying pakoras without oil. I sat down and discreetly placed the mouse on it. Wow, this thing turned out to be a real treasure. I told the shopkeeper to take out the stone. He immediately agreed. He said, just wait a minute. The guy was having a great time. I noticed his dog was being quite dangerous. He was daring to bark at me. So I jokingly said, I'll steal its food. Hearing this, the people standing nearby burst out laughing. Someone said, you have a very funny sense of humor. Everyone started offering me treats, telling me to go and eat the dog's food. One even bet half a packet of snacks that he would lose to the dog. Hey. The shopkeeper said, don't mind, brother. Laughing, he said, I'll cook this dog's food later. But my attention was completely focused on the dog's bowl. The bowl looked like it was made of iron, but its shape was very strange. Calling it a bowl was fine, but it felt incomplete. I stared at the barking little animal. I asked the shopkeeper, will you sell this dog bowl? He asked, do you really intend to snatch the dog's food? The mention of dog bowl brought laughter from the people standing there. Someone jokingly remarked, your taste is quite strange, brother. Another said, whatever you set your mind to, you do it. The shopkeeper suddenly remembered, I'm not stupid. He suspected that maybe there was something special about this bowl. He decided to investigate himself. Wait a minute, brother, he said. He moved the dog away like a guard. There were some numbers engraved on the bottom of the bowl, along with the name. The shopkeeper claimed that the bowl belonged to his family. If you want it, take it for 5,000 rupees. A family dog bowl. What a brilliant argument. Someone laughed and said, that's a perfectly valid reason. I said, let me see it too. The shopkeeper said, it's very dirty, man. He said, I'll take it myself. As soon as it came into my hands, it was heavier than I expected. I first looked at it with my magical eyes, and it was truly a heavy item. Numbers and names were engraved underneath. It read Shoutabio 01213. I couldn't understand what that meant. Then I looked at the information on my mouse screen. I was stunned. It clearly looked like an iron object. So why was it described as a ritual vessel? I asked where it came from. The shopkeeper insisted it was from his ancestral times. I interrupted him. Enough of that nonsense. I said, I'm taking it. He sealed the deal. He kept repeating, 5,000 means 5,000. Someone called me a walking ATM. Names and numbers were written underneath this dog's bowl, but there was no sign of them being old at all. Someone asked, am I taking revenge on that dog? Even the rich have strange hobbies. As soon as I received the money, the shopkeeper started to flatter me. I transferred the payment. The shopkeeper immediately started to flatter me. He washed the dog's bowl with tap water. Then he cleaned off the grease and dust from the board. He even found a bag for the bowl. Then he handed it to me, saying there were even more wonderful things inside. I refused. He told me to take the board out to the cart, and I opened the trunk. I put the two pieces of stone inside. Then, under the shopkeeper's smiling gaze, I left. I sat in the cart and breathed a sigh of relief, knowing I was rich now. I'd have to buy a nice cart as soon as I had time. My eyes kept wandering to the large iron bowl. It was actually made of bronze, a real bronze vessel from the Western Zhou dynasty. It's all right. I'll study it later at my leisure. One person was stunned that I'd actually bought that dog's bowl. They asked if it wasn't the height of madness. Someone thought the bowl might be an antique. Another immediately dismissed the thought. Someone said, my shopping today doesn't seem quite normal. Not far away, inside a private room, a renowned expert on art relics picked up his teacup. Suddenly it dropped from his hand. Someone asked Old Joe, are you all right? Another said, are you not feeling well? Old Joe muttered the name of some national treasure. They asked if the lost national treasure had been found. Someone asked, are you sure? Are you? Old Joe said, I've seen that young man. He says he bought some national treasure. Someone heard that he went to a junkyard and bought a dog bowl. Old Joe said, that dog bowl is the real treasure. Everyone came running and stared at the tiny bowl. As soon as they saw the bottom and the number, all three of them gasped. They were sure it was from the same batch. The doobe pottery made by teachers back then was a special item. Someone said, shout out, call your father. They want him to examine it. They want to find out which one it is. Someone wondered why I bought a dog bowl. I was perfectly fine. So why did I buy such a thing? They thought maybe I recognized it. Another said it was impossible. It seemed impossible to recognize it. But they admitted that I had very sharp eyes. One of them guessed, perhaps I was captivated by its shape. Maybe its shape made me think it was old, meta. But what exactly was it? They believed I can't know. If I even recognize it, then consider me no longer human. Now they stop whispering among themselves and quickly decide to buy it. They ask me if I'll sell it. One person offers 10,000 rupees. Another is stunned by such a low offer. He says I snatched this bowl as if it were a morsel, straight from a dog's mouth. I ask, did these gentlemen recognize this treasure? Because they are so experienced, I joke that it can even taste mice, so what is? Someone says I bought it from a junkyard and it was full of food at the time. The dog was eating from it comfortably. The crowd says that the poor dog was eating peacefully, and I came and snatched his rice bowl. They ask if I can still call myself human. The so-called experts say that they just enjoyed looking at it. As for the treasure, they claim they don't recognize it. Yes, fine. Go explain this to the ghosts. It's clear they're trying to grab my cheap deal. I laugh and say that I've overestimated it since it's come to this. So why don't I open it myself and show them? They ask what I mean. I think it's just a coating of iron on the outside. The real thing must be inside. By the way, I have to praise the welding of the iron. It's amazing. The joints are so tightly welded that they're invisible from a distance. I tell them to wait and see what happens after cutting. The so-called expert's face falls as if disaster has struck. If I really cut it, the inside will be completely ruined. He realizes he can't wait any longer. He asks me to tell him the price. He offers 10 lakhs straight away. I refuse and say 10 crores. The crowd circuit seems to short out. Oh, brother, you jumped to 10 crores as soon as you saw it. He asks if I even know what's inside. It's as if I'm uttering prices as high as a palace. He says I don't really understand money. The expert asks if I mean 10 crores. I say yes. The full 10 crores. He says if that's not the case, he'll transfer the money right away. I ask if he knows what's inside. He says he doesn't know. Wow, innocent man. I believe him as much as I believe a free meal. He came running himself and raised the price to 100 million. If he doesn't know anything, I'll eat this dog's bowl. He asks what I think of this offer. I don't even bother to answer. I just give him a gentle push, and a sharp blade slices through it. Someone praises my courage for rejecting even 100 million. The entire crowd exclaims in unison, wow, there really is something beneath the iron. Some wonder why it's so black. Another guesses it might still be iron. Then their eyes fall on the markings on it. Its full name is Western Joe Bronze. Some are stunned that I even know this. The name of this magnificent object is a rare treasure, even more precious than the national treasure. I ask, did they already know this? Just then, a man approaches me politely. He introduces himself as the president of the Chinese Antiques Association and offers a whopping 400 million rupees for this treasure. Forget about 100 million, it's even more than I expected. Frankly, it surpassed all my expectations. I agree to sell it. I nod my head. 360 million rupees after taxes is deposited directly into my bank account. Just as I consider searching for more treasure, I turn around and see a pack of hungry, ravenous wolves staring at me. Bravo. Now I've become a walking treasure map. It's best to get home before anything else happens. I should sit down and see what else this magical system can unleash. On my way back to the school's residential area, I witness a remarkable miracle. This system can change the numbers and figures of anything absolutely free of charge. Appearance, size, wealth, everything can be edited. This system is so dangerous that it should be banned. I set my combat power to 10 million. The next moment, the system throws an error. I glance at the system screen. My name, age, height, and weight are all changeable. Even my face and character can be edited. But there's a condition. I can only make changes twice a day. So let's change my bank balance first. Finding treasure is fun, but money comes in very slowly. The worst part is that people keep staring at me. I open my own attribute panel and type in infinite in the wealth column. Neighbors passing by see me smiling like a madman. They probably think I've lost my mind. They look at me with such pitiful eyes as if they feel pity for me. In an instant, I've transformed into a crooked-faced Dragon King. But then a beautiful fairy-like nymph appears. All the boys stop at her. I too am stunned for a moment. I just stand there staring. Her face is stunningly beautiful and her demeanor is cold and arrogant. Is this the same girl from our university town? The same student council president known as the campus angel? Oh, it's Aich Chingsi. She's every college boy's dream girl. But alas, Aich Chingsi doesn't give a damn. She's famous throughout the college for her arrogance and status. I quietly dig into Aich Chingsi's personal details. While I'm wondering what I should change, a boy comes up and asks who I'm kicking. He sneers it's beyond me to look at such a beautiful girl. I ask, what do you lose, I say I'm smiling because I'm very handsome, blah. He sarcastically asks if I really think I'm so handsome and asks if I could be more handsome than him. I examine him from top to bottom. His face is 80, well, if it's not bad, I'll compare. After all, I'm more handsome, I say playfully, stroking my chin. He snorts, "These looks are useless," and tells me to take a closer look at his clothes. He says this isn't any ordinary clothing, but a Rolls Royce worth 200,000 rupees. He boasts I could never buy it. I say, forget about your clothes. As for the Rolls Royce, I can buy such cars just walking around. He laughs out loud and says, what's the harm in throwing it away? Anyone can throw it away. After all, there's no tax on throwing it away. Since he doesn't believe me, I challenge him to a bet. We bet on whether I can buy a Rolls Royce. He asks what the bet would be. If I can, he'll donate his car. If I can't, I'll donate my entire estate. The yellow-haired idiot hesitates. Perhaps he thinks I'm some hidden hero, some great figure. But my look is absolutely a wrecking ball. Despite his doubts, the yellow-haired idiot immediately agrees. He says it's just about one Rolls Royce. He even suggests buying the entire 4S dealership. I say we should go to the 4S showroom. I'll take them in my car. Then he sees my so-called car. Soon everyone arrives at the Rolls-Royce showroom. A salesperson asks if we're there to buy a car. The salesperson politely invites us inside. I say I'm not here to buy a car. The yellow-haired clown laughs. He thinks I've given up. I tell him not to get too excited. I gently pat him on the shoulder. I say I'm not buying a car. I'm buying the entire 4S showroom. Everyone shouts I want to buy the entire store. They think I've lost my mind. The dozen cars parked inside are worth hundreds of crores. Someone tells me to stop throwing them around. Another asks why don't I buy the entire street. The salesperson says if there's no work, get lost. I tell them to call their boss. I'll talk to him. The salesperson tells me don't make a scene. Calling your boss when he's free could result in a pay cut. I tell the salesperson, don't worry. Just give me his number. The salesperson says the number is written on the board. You can read it yourself. I call and say hello to the boss. I say I want to buy his Rolls-Royce dealership. If he won't sell, I'll pay whatever he asks. He mentions 1 billion. 1 billion is like blatant robbery. But I laugh and agree. He asks if I'm joking. After the call ends, I see everyone's mouths open, wide enough to hold a fist. He asks if I'm really going to spend 1 billion. One might think I'm just acting. Soon the boss arrives. He asks if I'm the one buying his store. I say, I want to buy it. I say, let's sit down and talk. He sticks to the price he's quoted. 1 billion isn't a penny less. I say I have no problem. I ask if we should sign the contract. The yellow-haired clown is confused. This isn't the script he imagined. Even the boss is hesitant now. He can't even imagine the power of someone who could give him 1 billion cash. He can't even imagine how dangerous his reach must be. The yellow-haired rascal grumbles that it's impossible. He says the story shouldn't have gone this way. Through the system, I transfer the billion directly to the boss's account. The boss sees the bank message. His heart swells with joy. Upon learning of our bet, he immediately rushes to monitor the outcome. Soon, the yellow-haired rascal's loaned BMW 3 Series is donated. Then I choose a fancy-looking Calnet. I drive straight back to the residential complex. But as I reach the society gate, I spot a boy and a girl. The boy is my old roommate. As for the girl, she must be his girlfriend. He introduces her as Tank Pfeife. Then he asks if she's beautiful. Tank Pfeife is indeed very beautiful. Everyone around looks at her with envy. He asks, haven't I got a girlfriend yet? Obviously, he's come to tease me after hearing about my job quitting, but I can't stand his arrogance, I say, my girlfriend isn't free today, He asks, is she so ugly that you're afraid to bring her out in public, The crowd immediately bursts into laughter, covering their mouths. Tank Pfeife says that it's normal to be less beautiful than her. She says there's no need to feel inferior. Since I have to see them, I'll just call my girlfriend. Let's see who feels inferior then. I glance around, taking in the surroundings. She's sitting quietly near the playground, reading. I take out my mouse and aim at her. I drag the campus bell setting to max. Max. In fact, I set it to infinity. The next moment, a phone number appears on my screen. I call. Campus bell, sitting far away, reading a book, immediately hears her phone buzz. Her eyes light up in the blink of an eye. When she sees I'm the caller, she answers the phone in a voice so sweet it sends the crowd into a frenzy. She wonders why Campus Belle has never spoken in such a tone. No one had ever heard of Campus Belle having a boyfriend. I tell her to come to the residential building. She says she'll be right there. Campus Belle hangs up and quickly gets to her feet. Then she runs toward the residential complex. The moment everyone sees Campus Belle approach, their eyes widen, and the moment she sees me, her pale face lights up with joy. Someone asks, is she my girlfriend? And I say, treat it that way. But she denies it. She insists she's my girlfriend for real. Then she tries to get me to call her that too. The crowd erupts in excitement. They shout, hey, that Campus Belle is after a guy. There's a guy. They wonder what magic I possess. One boy complains that he's richer than him. He can't understand why Campus Belle didn't choose him. Campus Belle learns that I've quit my job. She asks if I can't even live here anymore. She offers to help me move my stuff. Everyone erupts in laughter. Is this the same ice-cold Campus Belle? My old roommate and Tank Pfeife look like clowns now. Everyone's attention is completely captivated by Campus Belle. The boy, too, stares wide-eyed at Campus Belle. He secretly wishes she were his girlfriend. Taking her out would be a matter of social status. For a moment, my false pride gets a good boost. I tell everyone to disperse. We have some important things to attend to. Amidst the envious glances of people, I take the Campus Belle straight to my room. We start packing my things. My old roommate suddenly speaks up. He says today is also my farewell day here, so he's talking about throwing everyone a party. It's clear he wants to show off his arrogance under the guise of saying goodbye to me. He's devised a new way to avenge his humiliation. That method is exploitation. If he can't win me over for a girlfriend, he wants to crush me with money. Tank Pfeife affectionately called him darling. She suggested a seafood feast. She said she knew a great seafood restaurant. He laughed and agreed. He said it wouldn't cost much, just a few thousand yuan for one meal. He said he'd treat everyone. But I didn't even pay him a second glance. Instead, I looked at Ching Sing. I asked if we should eat at a street stall. She said absolutely, as long as she's with me. Anything is acceptable. She was beyond cute. Tank Pfeife quipped that these street stalls are so dirty. He said women should take care of themselves. The woman rolled her eyes and made a face. The man immediately agreed. But I completely ignored them both. I took Ching Xing and left the courtyard. Someone behind me taunted me, asking what I was doing. They said I don't have a penny in my pocket and I've just got a beautiful girlfriend. They asked, do you even have the means to support her? Someone said, let's see how long this arrogance lasts. I turned and asked, are you guys waiting for a cab? Or a cab? I said, come on, I'll drop you off in my car. He angrily told me to move aside, saying I was standing in front of his car. I replied, I'm waiting for your car. Just then, he spotted a Rolls-Royce behind his car. Seeing the Cullinan, he burst out laughing. He said only a fool would say such a thing. He mocked me, claiming that Rolls-Royce was his. He was in splits. He pretended to be a clever guy, but he couldn't believe it. He laughed and pressed the key fob. The next moment, the Rolls-Royce's lights flickered on. Everyone's mouth dropped open. But soon, the man looked at me. Staring at me with contempt, he said, "Don't stare too much, too much." He said, "It seems the real owner of this car has arrived." He ordered me to move aside. That Rolls-Royce was so imposing and dazzling. It was such a force that even that arrogant man was taken aback. He had no choice but to move out of the way. The man immediately moved his car forward a little, giving the Rolls-Royce sway. It was strange that even after waiting so long, the owner of the Rolls-Royce hadn't come out. He wondered where the owner was. He said, "I've moved my car. So why isn't the owner coming out?" The next moment, I opened the door myself. I asked Ching Sing to get in. The man stared at the whole scene. His face was nothing but shock. I told him clearly, never underestimate anyone. Before, I wanted to live with these people like a normal person, but all I got in return was hatred and distance. So now I stopped pretending. I'm not a normal person, I'm a billionaire. I revealed everything. He stammered, "It's impossible." He stammered, "It's impossible." I asked, "Is it really impossible?" Nothing is impossible in this world anymore. I reached into my pocket. The next moment, the mouse cursor slowly moved to the BMW parked behind him. I pressed the delete button. In a split second, the BMW vanished into thin air. It was as if he'd never owned one. He was just showing off to me. He panicked and shouted, "Where did my car go?" He yelled, "My car was parked right there. Where did it disappear?" He kept asking, "My car." He kept asking, "What happened to my car?" I said, "Maybe you were just hallucinating." A week passed in no time. After returning the magical bell to the school, I decided to try something new. I wouldn't let such magical power go to waste. So I devised another clever trick. I paid 2,000 rupees in cash and bought a piece of gold. Then, like a keyboard enthusiast, I copied it. In no time, piles of gold piled up on the table. I laughed out loud. I swear I'm no less than a genius. Notes have serial numbers, but gold doesn't. Then I searched thousands of gold shops and converted that gold piece by piece into cash. After that, I left for America. I sold 100,000 euros worth of gold in one go. No one suspected anything. In fact, I single-handedly crashed the price of gold worldwide. I checked my bank balance on my phone and quickly transferred 1 billion euros to my mother's account. That night, I drank heavily at the city's most expensive club. From then on, I would comfortably sell gold during the day and spend the night at bars enjoying myself with beautiful women. Soon, my bank balance surpassed that of President Lehman. I became China's richest man. I had luxury cars, lavish mansions, and countless beautiful women. My picture was even flashing on the big screen in Times Square. I became the world's youngest super-rich tycoon. In no time, an entire year passed in this luxury. One day, a news report caught everyone's attention. It mentioned a worm-shaped island and an undersea fissure. I wondered, would this have any impact on us? It's okay. I'll do a good deed too. Thinking this, I felt no anger. Instead, a warm smile came to my face. Then I had my assistant arrange a manned meteorological balloon. I soared thousands of meters into the sky. The view of the Earth from above was spectacular. Soon I spotted that strange, useless island. Without a second's notice, I quietly pulled my mouse out of my pocket. My finger landed directly on the delete button. The next second, the island was about to disappear forever. But suddenly, I hesitated. Letting it disappear so easily didn't seem right. It's okay. I'm a little compassionate. So instead of clicking delete, I clicked cut. The next moment, the island vanished in the blink of an eye. But I didn't paste it immediately. Back home, I called my assistant and picked up the island and dropped it straight into the North Pole, the Arctic. It'll be fun to watch. While my assistant set things up, I strolled back to Panjane Bazaar. After all, it was better to do something than sit idle. I hadn't used my mouse to search for treasure in a while. As the mouse scanned item after item, I quickly checked out everything in the shop. When I saw the price tag of 89,000 euros, I stopped for a moment. I didn't expect to find such a treasure in the first shop. The price at the market was 9 euros, and if sold as scrap, it would cost 6 euros. Wait, that's not it. I lifted the mouse from the vase. Then it accidentally landed on the old cloth that had been spread under the vase like a cushion. The information immediately appeared on the screen. Item: old textile. Description: foundling handkerchief, a rare and out-of-print treasure. Material: woven fabric. Ming Hangu period. vintage condition, quality average, summary, collectible market value, wasilak. I've checked out most of the items at the stall, and the only truly valuable item is this old padded cloth. I put down the item in my hand. Then I look around casually and finally point to a nearby jade pendant. I say I like it. I ask for its lowest price. The stall owner repeats what he said before. He claims it's from the Tang dynasty and has an even better imperial jade pendant. History must be crying. He says someone recently offered 80,000 and he still refused to sell. It's completely lifeless. Its color is dry, faded, and gray. There are bubbles inside the slab. The material is clearly not very good. The bubbles are very small. The depth of color is irrelevant. The patterns are stiff as if they were made on cardboard. I tell him not to tell me stories about something so obviously fake. It's a Tang Dynasty Imperial Jade, really. The mouse has already marked it as fake. I casually recite a few lines. Expert jargon from antique novels. The stall owner is immediately stunned. After a long silence, he nods quickly. He even gives me a thumbs up. He says he met an expert today. He's willing to sell it for 100 now. I understand. I tell him to wrap it in some cloth. I don't want it to get scratched or bump into each other. I say I won't take advantage of him. The cloth costs 1 yuan, 101 yuan in total. He packs it in his own cloth. He says that won't work that way. Everything here is antique. Obviously, he says that the cloth may look old, but it's still an antique. If he finds someone who likes it, he could sell it for that much. My heart sinks. Oh no, does this guy know the true value of cloth? Is he using it as bait? I ask if he wants 20 yuan for a rag. I say he's being very dishonest. He says 20 yuan is for fooling ghosts. He would charge at least 2,000 from anyone who liked it. But today he liked me, so 200 is enough. I tell him, you're really a black-hearted person. I'm offering 20. If you want to take it, or else leave it. Today, I'm adamant. If he sells it for 120, I'll take it. Otherwise, I don't want anything. He laughs at the 20 figure. He says he's still earning 19. He says, I'm too young to fool him. Then he says he likes me. So fine, 20. If it were anyone else, he wouldn't have gotten it for less than 190, I say. If I weren't afraid someone would steal my jewels, I wouldn't have given them a penny. Okay, so it's fine. In the antiques business, 120 pieces. Money and goods are exchanged simultaneously. He tells me to keep it safe. The deal is done. I walk a dozen meters and stop. I take the jade material out of the cloth. Then I throw it in the roadside trash. I stop again and look at the shop ahead of me. I'm welcome to Joe and Reeve ask if they have a valuer. I say I have a wonderful item. I need a master to take a look at it. If the price is right, I'll sell it. The woman sees that I've come empty-handed. She wonders what I'm here to get a valuation done. Yes, what am I getting a valuation done for? She says nothing and picks up the cloth. She unfolds it, then unfurls it again. Usually, this kind of cloth is used to wrap something old. But after turning it over for a long time, she thinks she's left something behind. She examines the paper again and again. Finally, she looks at me suspiciously. I tell her that this cloth is the real thing. She asks if I mean this piece of cloth. I say yes, it's from the Ming-Hungwa period. Used by the Empress, and what a very rare piece. She tells me to wait. She says she's making a call. She calls Elder Jin. She says she has a cloth from the Ming Dynasty, a rare piece, and asks if he knows about it. Then she says she'll write it down. She urges him to hurry up. The customer is waiting, meaning me. She tells me to sit for a while. Her friend is arriving soon. He lives nearby, so he should come quickly. I nod and sit down. The woman brings me a cup of tea. I thank her. Then I pick up the cup. As soon as it touches my hand, my finger automatically clicks the mouse. All the details appear instantly. When I see that the cup is worth 60,000 yuan. I take a sip. Then, pretending to stare at the teacup seriously, I praise the boss's generosity. The teacup is also an antique piece. She asks if I can identify it. I say it's from Shan Xinhua. If I'm not mistaken, it must be one of the Xin government officials. The 3 major murders, the Jiangxi Pangshan murders, just this cup alone, must be worth at least 50,600 yuan. This time the woman is truly surprised. I tell her the correct period and name the murder. In one breath. This is no small feat. Not everyone can do this. She introduces herself as Song and Sho. I tell her my name is Wang Kai. She says I recognized her cup with just a few glances. Even many treasure experts can't do that. She says my knowledge of Chinese pottery must be profound. I say I've really studied it. About half an hour later, a man in his 40s comes in. Mara. He asks Song where the cloth is. She says it's here and introduces old Shi. Then she introduces me as Mr. Wang. She says this is the cloth. Old Shi says he'll look it over. He's sure it's really from the Ming Dynasty. He says it's a handkerchief. There's no doubt about it. He looks closely at the embroidery. He says it's in very good condition, undamaged. He calls it a small miracle. Then he asks if I'll sell it. Since I brought it out, I say it depends on its price. He offers 800,000. So that's his honesty. I say let it be. He immediately stops me. He raises the price to 1 million. He says it's already a good price. He really liked it for 1 million. If 1 million doesn't work, he offers 1.1 million. This is truly the limit. Oh my God, this is even more than the price of that mouse. I never said 1 million wouldn't work. I ask if he's sure about 1.1 million. He immediately jumps to 1.2 million and swears he can't go any higher. Nothing more. And he says that if I increase it even a little, he'll have his wallet reported to the police. Okay, so I'll sell it. But just as I finish, my phone rings. My assistant tells me my trip to the Arctic has been arranged. I can leave at any time. I've got the green light to cause a stir. I smile and say, excellent. I tell them we're leaving now. Then I ask for the QR code for payment. I say I'll transfer the 1.2 million rupee bonus. After saying this, amidst the old G's, songs, and spectacle, I step straight into the private helicopter parked outside. Then I fly straight to the Arctic. So friends, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for staying tuned to our channel. See you in the next video.